sharing parking profits.
Part of this community should reap the benefits of, and not just the city.
After years of cutbacks, a proposal to share revenue. Winter waste management.
It's gross. Yeah, it's gross. Like, I feel like disgusting.
Snow melt reveals trash, debris, and dog waste. And littlest learners.
Our kindergartens will be exploring, counting, estimating up to 20. And they'll be doing addition and subtraction up to 10.
Scholastic changes coming to the kindergarten curriculum.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. Should business improvement associations receive a portion of parking meter revenue collected in their neighborhoods? And that's what one city councillor is asking. The idea now sparking debate about how that money should be used. CTV's Chris Campbell joins us now with more on this tonight. Chris?
Yes, Stephanie. Ward 4 Councillor Mark McKenzie says the idea grew out of conversations with members of the Walkerville BIA who are questioning where parking meter revenue collected in their district ends up and whether a portion of it should remain in the neighborhood.
Right now, parking meter revenue in Windsor goes into the city's general coffers.
So what used to happen years ago was the city would actually supply a lot of the flower pots and the hanging baskets and that sort of thing. Unfortunately, it's kind of been cut over the past few years. It was cut 50% and then 100% in some previous budgets.
City Councillor Mark McKenzie believes a small percentage, between 5 and 10%, could instead be directed back to BIAs for improvements within their own districts.
And what is a way that we could start bringing some more revenue into the BIAs without having to go to their members?
Supporters say the funding could be used for things like beautification, lighting, streetscape upgrades, or community events.
We've been talking about that for a few years, like not as in what's our cut on this thing, but how does this whole thing happen? So to get some sort of like a kickback really would help everybody.
Walkerville BIA board member Matt Woods says reinvesting locally could directly benefit businesses and visitors.
We're a small budget BIA because we're not a huge footprint as a BIA, but anything is going to help us. Beautification for events, anything like that. We have a lot of public amenities.
Put it back into the neighborhood.
Some residents we spoke with say they support the idea.
I just think that you're part of this community. People park here. I think a part of this community should reap the benefits of, and not just the city.
I think the public should have the right to the money, of course.
Why should it all go to the city, you know?
And I understand nobody wants to pay for parking. I wish parking could be free all over the place. But I think the customer can then see a return in that investment as well.
McKenzie says any formal proposal would need to go before council. For now, he says the goal is simply to explore whether keeping some parking dollars within the neighborhoods where they're collected makes sense for Windsor.
So I'm not saying, 50% of the revenue should go to the BIAs, but, I think 5 to 10%. I think that's fair.
Not all BIAs have parking meters or municipally managed lots, and McKenzie says he hopes to see the issue and the report come before council sometime this spring. Stephanie?
We'll see. Okay, Chris Campbell with our top story tonight. Thank you, Chris. So here's our question of the day. Do you think BIAs in Windsor should get a share of revenue from parking meters and lots? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. On Friday, we asked, are you celebrating Valentine's Day this year? Out of 900 responses, 74% say no. A man escaped a house fire last night by jumping from a second-story window. Fire officials say that was the only way out. Police are now investigating the fire in the 3500 block of Byng Road as a suspected arson. The man was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries and has since been released. A dog did die in the fire, and the whereabouts of 2 other pets are unknown. Officials say the smoke alarm at the top of the stairs was not working. Police ask residents in the immediate area to check any video footage recorded between 9 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. on February 15th for any suspicious activity.
2 ways out, 100% is something we want all the time. And again, that early warning on a smoke alarm is important because the fellow that was up there was woken by smoke, and at that point his primary means of egress was already compromised because of the delay.
Stagnant winter weather is trapping pollution across the region, pushing air quality into the poor range and triggered an air quality warning. Rain is expected to clear the haze, but it's also revealing another kind of pollution. CTV's Bob Belichico has the dirty truth tonight.
But we've also had a pretty stagnant air mass over the area, not a lot of motion in the atmosphere.
As a result, there was an increase in the Air Quality Health Index, 7 Sunday morning, climbing to 10 today. Environment Canada issued an air quality warning for our area over the past couple of days.
A combination of local pollutants developing, as well as ejecting some in from the southwest. We had a light southwest wind that could bring in pollution from down in the U.S. So a combination of factors looks like resulted in that spike.
Environment Canada meteorologist Jeff Colson says there were higher readings at their downtown Windsor observation site, those levels gradually diminishing throughout the day. And Colson says rain combined with highs of around 12 to 13 degrees on Wednesday will help.
A mixing of the wind as well as some precipitation should lead to a better air quality situation in general for the day on Wednesday.
Warmer weather has quickly melted the snow.
It's gross. Yeah, it's gross. Like, I feel like disgusting.
Uncovering a lot of debris in snowbanks, against fences, on the streets, and one very noticeable trend, a lot of coffee has been consumed this winter.
Like, kids that have to grow up like seeing garbage everywhere on the ground all the time, no matter, and they're gonna start thinking that's normal, just leave garbage on the ground instead of throwing it out.
City Councilor Ronaldo Agostino is encouraging residents to talk trash. He wants residents to call 311 or send him a message to help identify hot spots for garbage.
I want to know where the garbage is so we can send our crews out there. We've got a great team at the City of Windsor. We've got St. Leonard's House. We've got people out there doing this, but we don't know unless you tell us.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
With more on the air quality, let's go straight to CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald, who joins us for a first look at the weather in the Weather Center tonight. Gary.
Good evening, folks. We're talking about that wind profile, hopefully picking up in terms of velocity to help push out the stagnant, polluted air mass, rated at 7 earlier this morning, almost an 8, down to about a 5, close to a 4 in the next couple of hours. So that's good news. Some rain has been passing through parts of the Midwestern tier and snow further north. We're unscathed at this point, but over the next, say, 6 to 8 hours, we could see early morning showers. It's been a mild day, and it will continue to be mild for the next couple days with more rain on the way, significant amounts of. So we'll see some more snow and ice melt. I'll break down the complete forecast just ahead. For now, I'll send it back to you at the desk.
A big change is coming for Ontario's smallest students. The Ministry of Education is beefing up the kindergarten curriculum by asking teachers to double down on reading and math. CTV's Michelle Molesky explains the change.
Kindergarten is the start of a 14-year journey of education. In Ontario, it's play-based.
We want them to play. We want them to still have that curiosity and learning to extend their thinking and discovery through kindergarten.
That won't change in September. The change is students will have certain expectations to meet. For example,
our kindergartens will be exploring, counting, estimating up to 20. And they'll be doing addition and subtraction up to 10.
The teachers will be expected to help students reach those specific thresholds.
They want a real focus on literacy and mathematics and explicitly teaching it instead of implicitly doing it.
Teacher Union President Mario Spagnuolo says his members have known about this change coming for a few years. It was supposed to be implemented this school year.
We actually are thankful that the ministry listened to the feedback and gave 1 year to try to get our mind around it.
The change will take effect in September.
I don't think there will be too much of a change, but it is a new curriculum that they're going to have to learn. The ministry's only given a 30-minute webinar that's available for teachers.
So what can parents do to prepare their kids for the classroom?
I think having those authentic conversations with your child, those are already happening at the dinner table, in the car rides, asking them about what they see, what they hear, what colors do you see, where do you see numbers?
And the other thing is, like, just going back to the basics, like read a book. have your child read a book with you, sit in your lap, and just read. That is so important, and away from technology.
Both major boards in Windsor are hosting their kindergarten open houses on Thursday, February 19th. Michelle Molesky, CTV News.
Provincial changes aimed at boosting funds for Ontario colleges and universities is drawing concerns from student representatives. Now, the Ford government rolled out an overhaul of the system last week. CTV's Robert Lothian joining us now. So, Robert, what are students saying here?
Yeah, well, Stephanie, students are fearing that the cost of attending a post-secondary institution is really starting to get out of reach here. And with the new changes to how they receive financial assistance, there's concerns the financial pressures will follow them for years after graduation. Relief for colleges and universities, students fear, is coming at a cost, and it's one they say they'll have to pay.
We want to ensure that our universities can continue to function and continue to provide the services and education that they offer. But where I want to make a comment is that I don't know if affordability has been taken into consideration, because at this time students are in a cost of living crisis.
The Ford government overhauling post-secondary funding last week, a $6.4 billion infusion of cash, unfreezing tuitions, and changing how financial assistance, commonly known as OSAP, is doled out. The University of Windsor Students Alliance warns those on campus can't take on rising education costs with less support.
It's quite disappointing to hear that the OSAP changes are happening at a time like this when affordability is at a crisis with students and tuition is being raised on that end.
Currently, up to 85% of a student's OSAP funding can be a grant, and at least 15% is a loan that must be repaid. The new model drops the cap on grants to 25%, and the loans accruing interest after graduation rise to a minimum of 75%.
Like, education at that point is now becoming less equitable and less accessible for students.
The UWSA is asking the province to review the OSAP changes immediately, but the Ford government claims the changes are necessary to keep schools afloat.
If we want Ontario to have a competitive workforce tomorrow, we need to strengthen our post-secondary institutions today.
At U Windsor, Maura is urging decision makers to consult with those in the classroom.
We weren't consulted on these things, and we want to ensure that students are being consulted prior to making decisions that ultimately affect them more than anybody else.
We did reach out to the ministry that oversees colleges and universities for comment, but did not receive a response. Meantime, an online petition asking the government to walk back these changes has now surpassed 32,000 signatures. So, Stephanie, it certainly seems that these concerns aren't going anywhere.
Frustrating times. Okay, Robert Lothian, thank you for this tonight.
Thank you.
In other news, a new report is shining a light on the cost to replace decorative snowflake lights in Essex.
It's great in our downtown where there's a new infrastructure, but on the outside areas, you can see the poles are really bad, and the snowflakes there, they're going up, and we're spending a lot of money.
A report to Town Council Tuesday night on the aging snowflakes in Essex Centre and Harrow estimates it could cost as much as $53,000 to replace the decorations. Now, each year the town pays to fix the snowflakes before they are hung for the holidays. Due to deteriorating light poles, staff are recommending the older lights in Essex be decommissioned until new equipment can be purchased.
So if we want to see change, we know residents don't like tax increases, especially for beautification items. So this may be something where we, boots on the ground, and we start doing fundraisers to make our towns, what we really want.
Local businesses and volunteers across Windsor, Essex coming together this Family Day to help families in need.
It's a wonderful thing. There's a lot of families out there that need help, and this is a great way to help them out.
The 4th annual Food for Families on Family Day initiative saw volunteers pack 1,500 bags of groceries for vulnerable households. Organizers at the Lakeshore Sobeys say 1 in 4 families across the region are facing food insecurity. The groceries were brought with donations from local businesses and will be distributed through the Windsor Essex Children's Aid Society, the Bell River Rochester Goodfellows, and the Windsor Essex County Food Bank Association. Organizers say beyond the food itself, the event sends a powerful message about community support.
It's awesome. It's nice to give back. It's nice to be in a position to give back, and we're really helping people in our own community, so it makes sense. And next year we want to make it bigger, because this year we're not only doing Windsor Essex Children's Aid Society, but we're also doing the Essex Food Bank, and we're also doing the Goodfellas from the Windsor, Essex, and Rochester. Next year I'd like to add more. I want to help out everybody we can.
After a frightening incident involving THC-laced gummies sent students to hospital, the community around Hugh Beaton Public School is sending a very different message. A strong visual message between 150 to 200 people linking hands, showing support for its students and staff. Families, students, and neighbors gathering to form a symbolic hug for Hugh Beaton, encircling the school in a show of solidarity, showing they are not defined by one troubling moment. Organizers say the goal is simple: turn fear into unity.
We just think that we all need to appreciate each other and show each other, kindness, and giving a big hug on Family Day just feels appropriate.
We just felt really strongly that we wanted to get the message out that Hugh Beaton is just a very lovely, warm, inclusive, welcoming school, and we wouldn't want anything that's been in the news lately to tarnish that reputation, because it's as special as you're seeing today.
Canadian curlers are trying to brush off a stone-touching controversy that has engulfed the Olympic tournament. Both Canadian men's and women's team have been accused of rule breaking. CTV's Garrett Berry breaks down the controversy.
The dust still has not settled at these Olympic Games after an eyebrow-raising, particularly tense curling match between Canada and Sweden's men's teams on Friday night. And at the heart of it all is not only the swearing by Canadian third Mark Kennedy towards his Swedish counterpart, but also a technical controversy.
Sweden had accused Kennedy of touching the granite part of the curling rock after releasing the handle. Curling officials then stepped up enforcement of rule violations at these Olympic Games. That move is quite rare in curling, a sport that has traditionally seen players enforce the rules themselves.
The first page of the World Curling Rule Book is titled The Spirit of Curling, and it's a lot of fluffy, poetic words about how, yes, we have a rule book, but realistically, as long as everybody's just nice to each other, then the rule book almost doesn't even matter.
The extra enforcement seemed only to escalate tensions when an umpire intervened and pulled a rock thrown by Canadian women's skip Rachel Homan on Saturday night. It likely cost her a point in a 1-point extra end loss against Switzerland. Afterwards, she told reporters the situation was absurd, insane, that she was unfairly punished, and denied any wrongdoing. On Sunday, curling officials abandoned that enhanced scrutiny and went back to old procedures, where teams would have to request officials come and watch for violations.
Part of the issue, according to Canadian curlers, is that this is the sport's highest stage and not, they say, the place to change the rules or how they're enforced. Garrett Berry, CTV News, Milan.
Now we talked to local curlers to get their thoughts about the controversy.
I think that it was kind of petty. They didn't even realize that they had pushed that rock. They can either believe one way or the other.
I think the call is justified. I think it's a habit that's been going on for several years. And finally, unfortunately, the Canada teams got caught on it. So.
I don't know whether the Canadian fellow actually double-touched the rock, but I'm sure it wouldn't make any difference, and I think it's a tempest in a teapot.
Do you have thoughts or comments on a story? We want to hear from you. Text us at 10400. Still ahead on Windsor's News Leader, a Canadian trade mission to Mexico City as Donald Trump threatens to tear up Kuzma. Later, remembering the life and legacy of legendary actor Robert Duvall. And tomorrow in Windsor, Minister Patty Hajdu unveils new federal support for workers, what it means for local jobs. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. A damning new report in Quebec says the province's automobile insurance board lied to cover its tracks and mislead the public. CTV's Jean-Vieux Beauchemin reports.
C'était ça que vous attendiez tous, je pense.
In a more than 800-page report, Judge Denis Galland provides a detailed roadmap of the scandal.
Trop vaste, trop ambitieux.
He calls the program to digitize services of the SAAQ, Quebec's Automobile Insurance Board, too big, too ambitious, too risky. It was the biggest of its kind in Canada when it was launched. But Galland also says officials deliberately lied for 10 years to hide cost overruns pegged at around $500 million. In 2023, the fumbling of the website launch forced Quebecers to line up in the cold for hours as they raced to register their vehicles or renew their driver's licenses.
Il y a une ligne qui va d'ici jusqu'au Pérou, là.
There's a line from here to Peru, said this man at the time.
Il y a des longues files d'attente.
The scandal drove down Quebec Premier François Legault's popularity. He says the report now clearly shows his government did not know the full extent of cost overruns.
Les recours judiciaires.
And he says he's looking into potential legal action against officials who lied.
C'est un hold-up.
But one opposition critic says Quebecers were victims of a holdup of public funds and that government guardrails failed.
Even if the SAC lied to them, then they lied to us. Délibérément menti.
Galland says asking top officials to be honest seems to go without saying, but he did make 26 recommendations, including to set up a specialized digital transformation team within the public service. This to lessen reliance on contracts with big private companies. That's possibly a lesson for other jurisdictions as provinces race to digitize healthcare and other services. The Commission says this scandal should not discourage other digital transformation programs, but could serve as a warning signal. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
A Canadian delegation is in Mexico City today, the largest trade mission to that country in decades. The goal is to strengthen bilateral relations with Mexico amid threats from U.S. President Donald Trump to tear up the trilateral trade pact known as CUSMA. CTV's Rachel Aiello is tracking this for us.
Hundreds of delegates representing business and key sectors across Canada are taking part in the biggest trade mission to Mexico in decades. Led by Minister Dominic LeBlanc, Canadians are meeting with Mexican government officials, policy experts, and industry leaders.
It's a long time coming. We're in a continent that we share. This is an opportunity to go well beyond where we have been.
CUSMA protections have shielded most Canadian and Mexican commerce from U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs. But with the Americans threatening to scrap the trilateral trade pact in favor of separate agreements, Canadian stakeholders are looking at bilateral relations with Mexico in new light.
We haven't actually leaned in to what CUSMA, our trade agreement, affords us, and we just have not invested in building the relationships or educating ourselves or connecting those businesses.
Merchandise trade between Canada and Mexico has increased 12-fold since the original NAFTA came into force, but business leaders see potential to gain more market access.
With the current negotiation or revision of USMCA CUSMA, it's important for us to be here on the ground and see if there's potential for our producers to expand their export to Mexico.
With the required joint CUSMA review coming in July, Prime Minister Mark Carney announced today he's tapped longtime senior public servant Janice Charette to be Canada's next chief trade negotiator to the United States. Charette will work closely with Mark Wiseman, Canada's new ambassador to the U.S., who just started in D.C. this week.
Well, of course, she's an incredibly experienced and seasoned bureaucrat and diplomat. This is exactly what we need.
Reacting to Charette's appointment, the Conservatives said Canadian workers need results and not another bureaucrat or negotiator. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
The federal government's defense strategy is expected to be announced later this week and will feature sweeping changes to how it supports the domestic defense industry. The $6.6 billion plan aims to help small and medium-sized Canadian businesses break into the defense industry. It pledges to create 125,000 jobs. The goal is to shift away from relying too much on the U.S. The strategy comes as Canada ramps up defense spending to meet NATO commitments. The federal government's revamped electric vehicle rebate program went into effect today. Canadians are now able to access up to $5,000 from Ottawa to put towards purchasing a new electric vehicle. Plug-in hybrids are eligible for $2,500 in subsidies. The federal Liberals are spending $2.3 billion on the new incentive program. Also tonight, Canadians will soon be able to visit China without a visa. The new rules will take effect tomorrow. Canadian citizens can stay for up to 30 days for business, tourism, exchange programs, or to see family. The move comes after Prime Minister Mark Carney visited China last month in a bid to improve ties between Ottawa and Beijing. Canadians entering mainland China were previously required to go through a lengthy application process and pay more than $100 in fees. Today marks the final day for Canadians to use their Toys R Us gift cards. A judge ruled the struggling retailer could stop accepting gift cards 2 weeks after it filed for creditor protection. That period ends today. Toys R Us began creditor protection proceedings earlier this month as it struggled to pay its bills. Court documents show it had more than $36 million in outstanding gift card obligations at the time. Call it pixel therapy. Coming up, how a classic video game has become a tool in the battle to overcome multiple sclerosis.
Let's look at our CTV News weather snapshot. Thanks to Mark Hewer for this great image. If you've got one, text it to us at 10400. We'll talk mild temperatures, rainy weather, and see if the air quality improves next.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. You can see a little bit of a haze there. Gary joins me again for an extended look at the weather. Gary, serious concerns over the air quality earlier today.
Earlier today, the air quality index rated at a 7, which is in the upper tier of the medium range. Not good. It's now about a 5 as we head through supper time for most, 6 into 7 p.m. So the air quality is not great. It's because it's a stagnant air mass just sitting across the region. Not a lot of very strong wind flow to keep it moving, so to speak. Reached a high 10 degrees unofficially today. Not a record, but double digits in extreme southwestern Ontario. That's about 9 degrees above seasonal. Our average is creeping up to +1. As of today, it's 0.6 degrees Celsius for a daytime high. So there it is, medium. It was as high as 7, so it's improving, but still not great. The winds do pick up in the next couple of hours, and then we'll see it really fall off and then ramp up again. So the winds are going to be a part of this weather story with air quality the next couple of days. Right now, 5 degrees cooler in Chatham-Kent. That's 41 Fahrenheit, 48 Fahrenheit, or 9 balmy degrees under hazy conditions as we head towards dusk in the great city of Windsor, Ontario. It feels like, well, 6 in Windsor, about +1 in Chatham-Kent. Colder in London at -2, wind chill -2 in Mount Forest and Shelburne, so too in Kitchener-Waterloo. So take a look at this map. It's very interesting to see the dynamics of the atmosphere changing. Very warm, or at least relatively speaking, heating up across the U.S. Central Plains, Midwest. That warm air supports rising temperatures headed towards us. Meanwhile, the prairie's cooling off a bit. It's -1 in Winnipeg, but +7 degrees in Thunder Bay, Ontario, just to give you a comparison where the mild air is and the colder air mass is across North America. Speaking of colder air, well to our north and east, we're seeing some snow through the Nickel Belt region, headed towards western Quebec, and then rain, snow, icy mix, freezing rain through Georgian Bay territory and the eastern shores of Lake Huron. So more rain is coming, light showers over the next, say, 12 to 24 hours, drizzle, in fact, and mist, maybe even some fog, and we got into it earlier today. Showers possible, but a 30% chance through to midnight, and at midnight, temperatures about +4. Take a look at our inner carousel 7-day, 6 degrees tomorrow, showery, cloudy, 10 degrees on Wednesday, rainy day, 6, then 4, then 1 as we cool off. Rainy, and then flurries. Look at this, the weekend into the minuses for lows. That's a look at your 7-day forecast.
Patients battling aggressive forms of blood cancer and some other conditions now have additional access to stem cell transplants at home. CTV's Sean Irvin explains who will benefit.
2 years ago, Jackie Van Altina would have never imagined that she'd be confined to a hospital battling a life-threatening condition. The world traveler was in New Zealand after a 10-year career in the Royal Canadian Navy when she began to feel unwell.
I was tired all the time. I couldn't breathe. I could barely go up a flight of stairs. Started coughing up blood.
It did not take doctors in New Zealand long to diagnose the problem.
They kind of put me in a room and said, we have a diagnosis of leukemia.
Jackie quickly returned to Canada, where doctors began a treatment regimen. Once specialists determined her cancer could not be brought under control with traditional treatments, she was referred to the blood and marrow transplant program at LHSC. Sadly, her immediate family was not a match. Until this past summer, that would have meant Jackie would need to head out of town for treatment if an unrelated donor match could not be found.
So previously, we would have about 15 to 20 patients every year going to Princess Margaret Hospital in Toronto to receive a stem cell transplant.
But Jackie received good news twice. Not only was the unrelated donor match located, but she was also given the chance to be the first to receive treatment in London. The innovation has opened the door for more patients battling life-threatening and life-altering conditions.
Cancers like leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, as well as some people who have inherited blood disorders or marrow failure disorders, such as severe aplastic anemia. Those patients would also need a donor transplant.
The ability to treat people in London enhances patient care. Until now, 15 to 20 patients a year have been forced to leave loved ones as they fought.
They do suffer from some mental health issues, financial issues, because they have to relocate to a different city, which sometimes can become very, very demanding for them as well.
Depending on individual cases, long-term survival rates for blood and marrow stem cell transplants are between 60 and 70%. Jackie believes she is among the fortunate as she continues to regain strength.
I never once doubted that I was going to get past this.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
A popular classic video game has become a tool in the battle to overcome multiple sclerosis. CTV's Pauline Chan explains.
Tetris has been enjoyed by gamers for decades, but now it's proving to be medically useful for patients with MS, like Mary Rivet, who was diagnosed in 1995.
It was a very struggle raising my little ones. I had a lot of home care, stuff like that. I went on ups and downs.
Then she broke her pelvis in a bad fall and was barely able to move.
I was wheelchair bound. I was able to walk. I was making small steps to my chair in the shower, to the washroom.
But 4 years ago, she entered a program at McMaster to test if using the body to play Tetris would be a better form of exercise for MS patients.
We attach sensors to the skin, the very same type of sensor that you might expect to be used during an ECG, test. They're detecting similar signals as well, except instead of those signals coming from the heart muscle, those signals are coming from skeletal muscles, types of muscles that we use to move around.
Participants did 18 half-hour sessions over 6 weeks.
It was 30 minutes, and I was sitting down at least 3 times during that 30 minutes. I had bars, I'm hanging on to bars, trying to hold my balance to play the games. By the end of the 6 weeks, Pauline, I wasn't hanging on and I wasn't sitting down for the 30 minutes.
From a wheelchair, she now uses just a cane to get around, and the researchers are looking for a few more participants to complete the study.
We can't say anything about statistical results at this time, but folks who are going through the biofeedback training do talk about rediscovering confidence in their ability to stand for longer periods of time. Sometimes their walking endurance improves.
They hope to report on the final results by the end of the year. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Vacation disruption still ahead. Canadians left shelling out more for that sunny getaway. While Cuba goes through an energy crisis with rolling blackouts and limited fuel, its robust tourism sector continues to crumble, with Canadian tourists now unable to travel there. And now Canadians are having to scramble to make new travel plans and paying the price for it too. Kamil Karmali reports.
While all major airlines have now suspended flights to Cuba, families who had booked vacations there are scrambling to find new plans, but those aren't coming cheap.
We're going into March break. The demand for other properties was very high. You're looking probably another, $1,000 versus what they were going to pay in Cuba.
Not only are vacation packages to other destinations now costing thousands of dollars more, some places like resorts in Mexico are also becoming overbooked because of the flow of travelers pivoting from Cuba to other holiday destinations. But Canadians' problems minute compared to the energy crisis Cubans are facing. The Caribbean island is facing a fuel shortage that has worsened dramatically this week, with not enough to provide jet fuel at major airports. The lack of fuel has also triggered widespread power cuts affecting water and food services. 2 Mexican ships carrying humanitarian aid have now arrived in Havana. Cuba has blamed the crisis on the U.S.-imposed oil blockade against Venezuela, which supplies Cuba with crude oil. There are now reports Russia may send crude oil shipments to Cuba soon. While all major airlines are now working to bring Canadian travelers in Cuba home, Air Transat now tells CTV News it's working on bringing the last of its travelers home for Tuesday. Kamil Karmali, CTV News, Toronto.
Robert Duvall, the Oscar-winning star of The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, and To Kill a Mockingbird, has died. NBC's Mark Barger has a look back at his life and career.
Robert Duvall was an actor's actor.
If they're going to hire me, then let me do what I want to do. If not, hire somebody else.
From The Godfather.
The shot's only on the causeway.
To Apocalypse Now.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
To the TV miniseries Lonesome Dove.
Well, you ain't no more a cattleman than I am.
Duvall's versatility shown in more than 140 films and TV shows over a 6-decade career, including the brief but memorable role of Boo Radley in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Major Burns.
Duvall also played Major Frank Burns in the original film version of MASH.
What do you mean you want that show? It's a news show. It's not your department.
A detestable TV executive in Network.
But you are Marine kids and can chew nails while other kids are sucking cotton candy.
And a warrior without a war in The Great Santini. That performance earned one of Duvall's 6 Oscar nominations for Best Actor. His lone win came in 1984.
I have a daughter.
Playing a down-on-his-luck country music singer in Tender Mercies.
I think it's certainly some of the best work I've done, and I would challenge anybody to say differently.
2015 brought a 7th Oscar nomination, Best Supporting Actor for The Judge. But Duvall reveled in his time away from Hollywood on a 360-acre Revolutionary War-era farm in rural Virginia with his 4th wife, Argentine actress Luciana Pedraza.
You go day by day and you arrive at being grateful for what you have.
But it's what Robert Duvall gave to his legendary film career that will be his enduring legacy. Mark Barker, NBC News.
This is your CTV Windsor, our community calendar. Take the plunge February the 27th at the Windsor International Aquatic Center for the annual Polar Plunge in support of Special Olympics Ontario. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Travis Fortnum. And Travis, I understand bragging rights were on the line in an age-old rivalry this past weekend.
Yeah, that's right, because it was a battle of the Canadian Armed Forces in Essex, Army versus Navy on the ice. This was the 6th annual game, which aims to help raise awareness about active military members across Windsor, Essex. Fans were urged to bring a canned good donation for the Essex Food Bank.
So it's been fantastic. I think last year we got about 3 pallets worth of food. So it's great to give back to the community that, you know, has supported us so much.
I'm told the Navy won, and we have all the details of the cause behind the game over on ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Okay, congratulations. And we also have a story online marking a very, very big night in our region.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, ever since I moved here, I've been hearing about how we're hoping for the 3rd shift to come back at Windsor Assembly. Well, it starts tonight. Hundreds of people probably starting to get ready for their first day, punching in for that one as we speak. You can click over to our website to read how the union's feeling ahead of the relaunch and about the spin-off jobs this could create. This and all your local news updates online. And in our social spotlight tonight, a forced landing on a busy Georgia road, and incredibly, no serious injuries.
We're not going to make it. Please tell my wife, Molly, I love her, and my parents. I love them so much.
A plane just crashed on the freaking road.
Heart-stopping words there from the pilot. Convinced he wasn't going to survive, he and a student pilot had just taken off when engine trouble forced a desperate move. They came down right in the middle of a Gainesville intersection, skidding through traffic. Only 3 cars were hit, just minor injuries on the ground. The FAA is now investigating what went wrong.
Yeah, I bet. Someone was definitely looking over them. I'm not sure how no one was injured. Thinking about
scary.
It's hard because when you're up there and if something happens, what is the best place for you to land, right?
Yeah.
And when you're seeing a bunch of cars and you're making that decision as a pilot that this is, you know, the highest probability we'll stay alive, and you go for it, like.
And then when you're in one of those cars and you see a plane coming at you, they don't teach you that in driving school. So.
Okay, Travis, thank you for this.
Okay.
When the lake freezes and it's brutally cold outside, one man has built the perfect place to ice fish, heater, lights, and TV all included. Gary, it looks like the air quality has cleared up a bit compared to earlier today.
A little bit. You're right about that. It was a 7, and the higher the number, from 1 to 10, the worse the air quality, down to about a 5 or 6 within the city limits. Let's take a look at our Enercare Styles 7-day forecast, calling for mild temperatures at least the next 4 days straight, but cloudy over that period as well. Showers possible early tomorrow morning, a high of 6, then up to 10 on a rainy Wednesday. Thursday, 6 degrees Celsius. Morning showers, about a 40% chance of that. Showers on Friday, +4, and then 1, 0, and 0 with flurries Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So we'll cool off and be more seasonal as the weekend arrives.
Okay, no one in our region is going ice fishing anytime soon, but we do have a story regarding that. A man from Wisconsin has taken the passion of fishing and turned it into something very creative. Tim Elliott shows us the porta potty that has been converted into the perfect ice fishing shanty.
When it's cold in Wisconsin and the lakes are frozen,
You know, let's just do it.
sometimes you just gotta go.
The crappie shack, I mean, it's just perfect.
Ice fishing.
We're learning new things with it all the time, so
It's just going to get better and better.
Jeremy Barnett is a construction worker by trade.
I've spent quite a bit of time in a porta potty.
He says a few years ago, he came up with the idea to turn an old porta potty
Yeah.
into an ice fishing shanty.
You know, when you're on the job site and all you have is a porta potty and it's 0 degrees out, you know, you're sitting on it and you're freezing. And you're thinking, well, I might as well just be on a lake fishing.
He's fishing on Black Hawk Lake in Cobb, Wisconsin.
I just like sitting in here and jigging for fish, you know, and I can do it all day.
Inside, it's a tight fit.
And it's reasonably comfortable for one guy.
But Barnett has all the creature comforts that you could want.
I got the heater up here, and then I got a little cabinet for the electronics here. And then my jigging holes. This whole thing lights up, and this roof just turns straight bright yellow. But yeah, I got the TV mount here, and it actually holds heat pretty well. And when I first made it, it had a flat seat, so it wasn't real comfortable, so I contoured it so it kind of hugs your butt.
And when this spot is all fished out, the crappie shack sits on skis, so Barnett can move easily elsewhere on the ice.
Everybody wants to see it, you know.
The crappie shack gets a ton of visitors.
Oh, they love it. They love it. They laugh. They laugh about it, and they think it's really cool.
But for Barnett, being in nature and doing what he loves is the real catch.
I just like hanging out with the fellas, you know. It's camaraderie or whatever. But yeah, I love ice fishing.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Just relax, you know. I'm not at work, so that's good. Yeah, it'd be nice to catch a fish on camera, though, like a big one.
Very creative. Indeed, I feel like a lot of construction workers out there are going to be stereotyped now.
Yeah, quite appetizing.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? He's doing something he loves. He has the TV there, very comfortable.
Give me a snowmobile or a hockey stick, some skates.
And he has a sign.
Got a
for it too.
Crappie
Good.
Shack.
Good.
Yeah.
Do what you love. Crappie Shack. Do what you love. On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we'll be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11.
See you then.